Hey, good morning, guys. Up and at 'em. Yes, it is. It's Monday morning, February 2nd. So, what are we going to talk about? The thing that I forewarned you was coming, and that's the EFI systems in snowblowers. So, stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, if you didn't already know it. Yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Monday, February 2nd of 2026. So I told you that change comes rapidly, right? And for you shops that aren't ready to embrace the EFI systems, you're going to become new old stock. There's pros and cons to it all. But the typical clean the carburetor, gaskets and all that doesn't fly with an EFI. And your fuel system delivery is totally different, the makeup of it. And now it's going to require more testing equipment, like to test the pressure coming to the injector from the fuel pump. It's going to be ways to check the battery to make sure that it's at least 12 plus volts, because it needs that to run the fuel pump and the ECM the ECM and the coil. So it's a different breed, and this is why I say you need to stay relevant. And relevant is current. This is the first snowblower that I've seen with the EFI system on it, and it's a learning lesson, a learning curve, of doing a lot of research on it and trying to figure out, what are the pros, what are the cons, and what are the tools I'm going to need. Because now you're talking map sensors, and like I say, it's totally different. So the equipment we need to do a typical snowblower carburetor isn't there. You could specialize in, you already have the ultrasonic cleaner, putting the injectors into that and letting it clean the injectors. Because a lot of times when working on the EFI system on the side-by-sides and stuff, which we've done quite a bit, the biggest problem is that the injector gets clogged with crap, dirt, what have you, and it's not giving an adequate spray. Or it's not spraying at all, right? Because it's under pressure. And simply swapping out the injector cures the problem until more fuel goes through it. They say that stale fuel is better for the EFI systems than the old carburetor because it's all kind of self-contained. The air can't get to it. It's not the gravity flow. It's sealed in the tank, and then when the fuel pump engages, starts with a key switch on, that's building up the pressure to your injector to start. Why does all this matter? It matters because if you don't change and you don't go with the flow, you're going to be left behind. And this isn't, a fluke of where they bring it out and then they say, oh, it's not worth it and stuff. This is the way of the future. It's more efficient. It runs better. Yes, there's other things that you have to look for that the old shop, the old mechanic isn't used to. It comes down to if you're not feeling stressed about something, then you're not pushing the boundaries, right? And the only way to learn is to get your hands dirty. But with me, before I get my hands dirty, I do a lot of research on it. And I want to find out, are there having other shops having problems with it? I'll ask Google AI, run a search, issues with the new EFI systems with Cub Cadet. And one of the primary things is the battery. People don't realize that there's a battery on board, and most of them don't get a charger when they buy the snowblower. That's an add-on. You can get one, but it's going to cost you. And it's not part of the package when it should be, really, if you ask me. So, like I tell all of our customers, if you're going to buy something brand new, read the owner's manual, even though I don't. Read it. It will tell you it has a battery and that it has to be charged. And it has to be fully charged in order for the rest of the system to work right. If it doesn't or isn't, then your fuel pump can't pump. Your coil in the ECM, can't function either. A lot of times it's going to be a no spark, no fuel. Now, Kohler has got some tools out there that you can get to help with that process. But there's a lot of tools that you have right in the shop that will work as well. But now you're going to start looking at diagnostic equipment. And yes, we've had diagnostic equipment around for a while, to see if you have a cylinder letdown test or compression, or all of that is still important. We've just swapped out the carburetor for an EFI unit, throttle body, instead of a carburetor. That's basically what you're doing. And the fuel pump now is not vacuum or cam operated. It's battery operated, and it exceeds way more pressure than ever put onto the system. Now you've got an injector, that puts the fuel in it instead of coming through a filter inline and down to the carburetor. Now you have, a lot of times with these new units, the filter is built right into the tank, and the fuel pump is built right onto the tank. And it's battery operated versus the cam or the vacuum. If you sit down and think about it, it's not that hard. Is it different? Yes, it's different. Is it outside your comfort zone? Probably when you first get into it. But I think you can do it and do it well. And just approach it like I did. When the customer called and said he had one, I thought he had been drinking because I hadn't seen one before. So we picked it up, and sure enough, it had a fuel injector in it. We've worked on EFI systems on other equipment, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, for quite some time. So the EFI system shouldn't be new to you. The only thing that was new to me was how much the battery plays a part in this. I always knew that the battery on a side-by-side was important, and making sure that the fuel pump, when you turn the key on, you could hear a bzzz and it would stop, right? That's your electric fuel pump operated by the battery, right? So it's the same system that the snowblower is. When you turn the key on, you're going to hear that fuel pump kick on and come to a stop when it builds the pressure, right? If you don't hear that, then you need to look at why is the fuel pump not pumping. So in the comments, you guys, have you seen these before? Have you been working on the EFI systems like we have for years when it comes to recreational vehicles? I know it's going to be a hard sell for some of the old timers. They don't want the EFI because they know how to do carburetors. I knew this was coming. I just didn't know how fast. And now you're going to have some testing equipment more so than not, because a lot of times with the EFI system, they run with code. So if there's an issue when you turn the key on and off, it'll flash. So many flashes is the code that you go look it up in the book, and it says, that it's got a bad map sensor, it's got a bad, and a carburetor compared to a EFI throttle body with the injector is $100 compared to $1,000. That's the kicker, is that if you have to replace that system, it's going to get very expensive. You know, they're not mass producing them just yet. They are for the side-by-sides and for the four-wheelers. You can grab them for under 100. But this is the new and improved snowblowers for Cub Cadet, and this is the first I've seen them. What do you guys think? What's your take on it? Are you going to embrace it? Or are you going to just say, screw this, that I'm not going any farther, that I'm happy with just the way I am, knowing what I am? See, the one thing I've always done is, when I was young, I thought I knew everything, right? But when I got older, I now realize I know nothing. And it would take 3 to 4 lifetimes to learn what I would love to learn. And so I'm embracing it. It's new. It's something different. Is it going to get me outside my comfort zone? Of course. But that's where I live, is outside my comfort zone. If I'm not outside my comfort zone, then I'm not learning, right? Am I going to make mistakes? Are you going to make mistakes? Absolutely. That's all part of the game, right? But in the process, we go back to, I've done a ton of videos on this, of the more experiences we have, good and bad, the better we are and equipped, if we learn from the bad, to gain wisdom, right? And this is no different than learning the carburetor systems with all the gaskets and the jets and this and that. Now you're down to a throttle body, an injector, and you still have to clean that throttle body. But the injector, a lot of times, can be thrown into an ultrasonic cleaner to bubble the crap out. But there's also ways, there's tools out there that we don't have yet that I'm going to look into. And that is to test how much pressure is coming from the fuel pump to see if it's putting out the right PSI. Is there a solid 12 plus volts in the battery? Because the battery has to be fully charged for everything to work correctly. Once you start it, okay, it's got its own charging system. Same idea with the stator and pickup, and it charges the battery back while it's running. But where we're seeing an issue already is you get it all cleaned up in the spring and you put it away, right? And then you bring it out in the fall towards winter, because now you got to have it, right? And now it's not working, or it's getting worse. And the reason is it sat for a prolonged time without any maintaining or charging to that battery. And when is it going to, I think you said, Jason, that heat is the worst thing for a battery. That cold actually helps keep it better. But that's where you're going to start seeing your customers, or even you if you're a do-it-yourselfer, of the extended period of where it's been sitting, and the charge, there may be ghost charges, whatever you want to call it, that are drawing from it here and there. The best bet is in the owner's manual. It says plug it in and charge it and maintain it. Those are the ones that we're going to see. Now, you're not going to change how you do things, okay? When it comes to, we'll take this snowblower for instance, you're still going to do the 4 points. And that is, do you have compression? Do you have fire? Do you have good fuel? And what about the air breather? Is the air breather plugged, dirty, what have you? Because that will screw you as well. That doesn't change. That hasn't changed. That's the best thing, is if you can learn that 4-point system, you're golden. It's when you decide to skip one of those steps that it's going to get you. You know, even with this system that we had in here, it had a full tank of fuel. And I drained the tank. And I put in fresh fuel so I know that the fuel is good. What I need to do is I need to pick up the charger and get this battery charged up, get everything all put back together, and see if the thing functions. It's practically brand new. So this video isn't going to be that long. I just thought, we talk about, that if you don't stay up with the current stuff, before you know it, so much has changed that you're no longer part of the picture, that you can't do the work. And what I found is, in the last 25, 30 years running a business, things change a lot. It went from big part sales to rebuilding engines to now engines are throwaways that nobody wants theirs rebuilt, few and far between anyways, because of the cost. They can go buy a brand new one online or through Harbor Freight cheaper than what it would cost us to rebuild theirs with a new short block and using a lot of their old parts. This is coming. This has been coming, and now it's here. I told you that battery was coming next. This is coming after the EFI systems. Right now there's a bill in the Senate, I guess, here in New York State that they want to make all weed trimmers, leaf blowers, and push mowers all battery operated. No gas powered. These people got too much time on their hands. They need to let the people choose what they want. That's called capitalism. If a guy wants a push mower with a gas engine on it, that's his right to have a gas mower with a push mower to mow his yard. And I understand. The neighbors are upset because they can hear it mowing. Those battery operated ones can't be quiet either. I mean, you still got the blade going. You still have, you see what I'm saying? I always been to each your own. As long as you're not trotting on me, I have no problem, what you're doing. You could be standing on your head for all I care. It's only when it's interfering with me personally when I will say something. On that note, you guys have a great Monday. As you can see, I'm sick again. I got the flu shot this year, one and done. And I've been sick more this year than any year. And I'm like, what the hey? Enjoy your Monday.